This is Anissa, and I'm here with my husband, Johnny, the most wonderful husband in the world. Want to welcome you to Marriage Straightforward, all of you out there. Thank you for joining us again. Hopefully, you've had a great weekend and what have you. So, just want to pose a question to you guys. Johnny and I were talking, and so I have a question for you, women and men out there. Have you ever been asked to do something from them and you did what they asked? However, there was an important gesture they would have wanted you to do. Instead, you decided to go another way. How many of you understand where I'm coming from with that? What you think, Johnny?
Yeah, see, you just opened up like half our marriage with that one. I don't know where you're going
Care
with
to
this, baby.
explain? Care to explain?
I'm just
Care to
saying.
explain that I opened up. I hope I didn't open up the door too wide, but maybe I did.
Well, we are not exempt from learning and growing. That's one of the big crazy things that, I've always had issues with. You grow up in whatever fellowship you may have attended, whatever ministry you've been a part of, there was always this person that looked like they could just do no wrong. There was always this couple that was just out there that just seemed so perfect. It's like every time you walked up to them, they always had everything going on. It just seemed like they was just like, look, it made you question everything in your own relationship, because it's like, can mine ever get that strong? But every once in a while, you have to think about, well, a lot of times that just comes from people who may be more seasoned, a little bit more mature, may be a little bit more, I guess you could say, flowing more in the purpose of their union. you know. But the thing is that they're no better. It's just that they may have just, taken a certain focus that has elevated them to a certain point. But that's capable. Everybody's capable of achieving that. So it's not to say that there are some out there that are just better than others, or, here it is, I got to rethink my situation because I've seen something that, I feel like I aspire to, you know what I mean? Yeah, we have our times, man, where, there are certain things that we have, just so good intentions, there's a saying that says the way to hell is paved with good intentions. It's like you intend to do something well, and then it just kind of fails on you. And we're talking to men and women out there who may be experiencing challenges with that, because as we grow, we change. And there are times when you feel like the same thing that worked yesterday or worked today or should work today. You know what I'm saying? And it may not. There are certain things that that you feel should continue to work that may not necessarily work no more. You know what I'm saying? Ways that you may talk, routines that you have, a certain way you may embrace, certain things. And of course, you can take that as deep as you want. I don't know if the children are listening, so I won't go all off into the romantic part of it. But, there's just certain ways that we have, you know what I mean? And these things change. And you notice that after a certain period of time, these things begin to create some unexpected friction. Because remember, these things are routine. These things in the back of your mind. These things aren't things that you're paying attention to enough. You know what I'm saying? And so when these changes happen, sometimes it takes us a little off guard. There are certain things that we have certain things that we have in between us as a couple that we share that, for lack of a better term, they provide comfort to us. You know, I know every morning I would get up and I would get dressed and everything. And before I would leave the house, I would make sure I would approach my wife and give her a kiss on the forehead. You know, just assurance that I love you. I'll see you later. And, you know, the last interaction I have with her before parting from her is a good interaction. I give her a hug, give her a peck on the forehead. You know, that's a routine. However, things happen. You get up in the morning, phone is blowing up. You know, there's an emergency at work. You're rushing, you're trying to get out and everything. Now, she's sprung up, she's doing things, and she's seeing in me that I'm in stress. She goes in, she fixes my coffee just the way I like it, does all the different things that, you know, that she normally does to support me and to help me in my moment. And then I just rush out the house. And then she's standing there like, where's my kiss on the forehead? You know, there's these little things, these little nuances that we don't really think are important, that if left out can create some really, really, really bad blow-ups in your marriage. And we want to talk about that a little bit today. Now, you know, we aren't the typical couple when it comes down to approaching stuff like this. My wife and I, we can go there, you know. So if you have weak constitutions, of if you're a babe in Christ and you get offended real easy, I would suggest right now that maybe you should go pray and then come back. I'm not gonna say turn the channel, because apparently you here, this is for you. So just pray and come back and understand that we're talking to you all out of love. This is not something that we're using to promote ourselves or make ourselves look like we're the masters of marriage or the masters of relationship or anything. But these are the things that kind of happen, and these changes are subtle. And see, my wife and I have been married for over 30 years, so, you know, there's a lot of ground to cover when you start talking about changes here, changes there. You know what I'm saying? I'll just tell one little short story. When my wife and I met, she had really long hair. And, you know, when when I would come by sometimes and just hang out with her, she would kind of be in a process of doing something to her hair. You know how it is, ladies. You know, you get in the kitchen, you had a sink running, you got that big long gooseneck sink so you can stick your head under there and get the rinsing and what have you, and put your conditioner. Whole house smell like Roberto VO5, you know. I mean, the whole house, you know, look, that's nostalgic. I mean, a Saturday morning, right? We about to go out and kick it, right? So you get there early. Y'all been hanging out for a while. Saturday morning, you go to her house, you knock on the door. And because you're over there early, you're smelling the remnants of breakfast, right? You bacon, eggs, or whatever. You can tell, oh man, y'all had pancakes today. Boy, y'all ate good this morning. Boy, I wish I was there, you know. That's your little small talk. You come in, you kind of kiss a little bit, you know, you hug each other and say, I'm glad to see you and everything. But her head is full of activator. It's full of something, some sort of conditioner or some kind of product, and it's smelling up the house. So you're smelling the remnants of breakfast and you're smelling the conditioner and stuff. And I mean, it's just a nostalgia to me, because, you know, those are the moments that you remember, those moments, those good moments, those feel-good moments that when you reflect on them, it kind of takes you back. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I go in and she's like, babe, could you help me rinse my hair? And I remember the first time she asked me to do that. Now, see, brothers, I'm going to tell you something. There's milestones in your relationship. And for those of you who kind of came up like me, where the pressure was always sex, you know what I'm saying? You know, did you hit it yet, man? Did you hit it yet? Now, there are certain things that you realize later on in a relationship, certain milestones, certain trusts, and certain liberties that are granted to you in a relationship that just make you feel like a man. Like, you know, and it's not even big stuff. It's little stuff like, could you help me rinse my hair? When a woman tells you can you put your hands in my hair and massage my scalp? That's one of the greatest honors to me in any young relationship, is when a woman is relaxed enough with you and trusts you enough to put your hand in her hair. You know what I'm saying? That's big. Because we know how black women are about their hair. But man, I would go over there and she had this long silky hair and I would just go in on her hair, man, just rubbing and massaging and stuff and whatever. And my body is leaning up against hers and hers is leaning up against mine. And you just get all them sensations inside. You know what I'm saying? You just get sensations, right? My wife is over here cracking up like, I told you we have fun. We in here, we have fun. Cause that's what marriage is about. You know, it's gonna have its challenges, but you take those moments when you can get them to have fun. You know what I'm saying? You take them moments. All right, so these are the different things that, you know, that create these moments, right? And so now there's kind of a routine. Every couple of weeks, she's doing her hair, and she say, you know, I need my man's strong hands to come over here and massage my scalp. And you all in for it. That to you, that's better than sex. You might as well say y'all married right now. Because those are the types of things, the types of moments when you know your mate, when you know the person that you with, and they give you that. It's like that right there is just an open door. And it provides a comfort to you, a security. Like, oh, she ain't going nowhere. You know, she let me do this, then we cool. You know, it's like these are those little milestones that you keep track of and pay attention to. So my wife got pregnant with our first child. And she started experiencing things that neither one of us, I think, you know, when you start experiencing, you know, cramps and morning sickness and all kinds of other stuff, there's a level of discomfort that comes to a woman sometimes, fellas, and I don't know why I'm talking to the fellas today. I guess it's your day. But there's a certain thing that you see there's a discomfort that comes, and women have a way of saying, you know what? When a woman wants to be comfortable, she does not care. She does not care how she look with all the other material stuff. She does not care. When she wants to be comfortable, trust me, she's gonna let it down. She's not gonna hold back any gas. She's not gonna do, if she wants to be comfortable. Phil, let me know if, raise your hands. I can't see you, but raise them. I know there's several of them raised. When a woman gets uncomfortable and she is tired of being uncomfortable, she is going to do things, even drastic things, in order to make herself comfortable, because she wants to be comfortable. When she begins to get into that second trimester and that baby start moving for real, like, you know, tap dancing on that pancreas, playing double dutch with them intestines, look, it's bad enough you can't get sex. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough that all of the different things you was doing before she got pregnant is pretty much over. Now, some of you kind of push through it because it just depends on what situation. My wife wasn't having it. It's like, look, this is where we at right now. You're going to have to find a way to love and support me in this particular situation, which is another time and place, another discussion. So put a pin in that, right? But when a woman gets uncomfortable, and she was having issues because it's like, look, I'm hot. I don't like this long hair down my back like this, down my neck. And I can't do nothing with it. I look at myself in the mirror, I can't do nothing with it. I'm too uncomfortable to stand here and do the same routines I used to do with this hair. So guess what? I'm just gonna cut it off. I'm cut it off. She wasn't thinking about the fact that she got a husband over here that has pretty much staked most of his greatest moments with her in a routine that they used to do where he would come and massage her scalp. You see what I'm saying, fellas? It's subtle changes. Little changes can be big for you. Because you don't know what moments those things are attached to. And y'all not having those conversations. Trust me, y'all not. So how do you deal with that kind of stuff?